Good morning, everyone. Hope you don't have anything to discuss, or if you have anything, let's complete that part. Maybe you all going through all the recorded session, whatever we have as of now. Why? Because if you are not going through all those recorded session, it's very difficult to go into next stage. So my request or recommendation here is you guys need to go through all those video first and then we can continue. Can you hear me? Can someone confirm here? Can you hear me? Otherwise, I can share my screen and we can go through. Okay. Are you able to add your comment here? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Let me share my screen quickly so that we can initiate. So till now in module 2, we mostly covered solution, solution component, managed versus unmanaged, ALM life cycle, upgrades and patching, import, export and cleanup activity. We will try to cover mostly today export and import cleanup activity so that we understand how we are moving our component from one environment to another environment. What is the best practice we have to follow? What types of golden rule we have to follow while deploying environment component from one environment to another environment? And what is the best practice to clean up our component and the solution here? And the deployment phase, ALM life cycle, and we mostly covered here theoretically, but I will showcase how to export it, how to add, maybe even we can see some dependency while importing component from one environment to another environment as well. Okay, good morning. So Devesh, can you ask team to join? I can see less candidate here. If you are able to hear me. Good morning. So here I will open this cleanup activity here, mostly the import export. Module. Uh, so mostly what we will cover here, the complete guide to promoting Power Apps platform components across environment with minimum reliability. So what it mean? Like suppose I told you we have dev environment, we have QA environment, we have UAT environment, and we have production environment. So if we are moving some component from one environment to another environment, so how to do that specific activity? So one part is export phase. packaging the source of truth for distribution. So what we will do, we will create one solution in our source of truth means where we have developed that one. Suppose if we have created component, so maybe this is our trial environment that we are utilizing for demo purpose. So here we are creating solution. So suppose this is source of truth. Source of truth means where we are developing our system. So we will create one solution here to export it because our main agenda here is we are going to create one solution so that we can export it and we can distribute it. Distribution means whatever we are exporting, we can import in our other environment. Preparing for export. So before exporting, it is critical to ensure that the environment is on the consistent state. Missing these steps leads to broken imports. So suppose we are developing something in our dev environment and we have prepared something to exporting the solution, and maybe someone already working in that one, that environment is not stable, that specific feature is not stable, like there might be some issues in that specific component. So what happened, there are unstable component that we are attaching to the solution. So suppose we are working in the account entity. In account entity, there is a one form we have customized, and even one of the developer is still working on some of the improvement area in that specific place. So we should not add any specific component which are not completed or which are not stable. So we have to make sure we have done all those activity, whatever we have decided to move. So here, suppose this environment. Suppose I'm creating one environment solution here. It will take some time to open initially. This is very important. Most of the, you know, sometimes what we are doing, we are preparing one solution, but we may add something which are not stable state. So it may create any problem while we are moving into the production or test environment. Suppose in this particular section, we have created one solution and we have created one publisher. So let's utilize that particular solution. We may add some component here and try to utilize import export utility. Most of the resource, most of the candidate, they know how to do this activity, but let's complete that action. Suppose there is one automation, one flow, cloud flow we have prepared. I'm adding that one. So suppose this is the one that we have created. I'm adding that particular control component, one cloud flow, and let me try to add any plugin code. Maybe that plugin code we have not developed. And let me check if we have any code here. So try to understand where we have all those components. Suppose I need to add any app, I can utilize this particular app here. I need to add automation, it should comes under this automation. I need to add any dashboard, I can use this dashboard section here. I need to add security role. I will explain you what types of security role, what how security works, how we need to configure that security role. So site also site map tables, and here suppose if we have global option set, so how to add those global option set, it will fall under choice. And related to any connection role, connection reference, we can choose from here. Environment variable, will discuss and explain what is the benefit of environment variable. Suppose I'm going to explain you. Suppose if we have developed any plugin assembly, so we can add from here. So let me try to add any plugin. So there is one plugin I have developed here as part of my customization. So I'm going to add this one. So this is the plugin assembly I'm going to add. I'm just explaining how to prepare a solution. How to write plugin code, I will explain maybe later uh, series. That plugin component, here we are able to see plugin assembly component. Now we need to add some dependent component here, maybe plugin assembly step. Let's search. So even we can check here, add required object. We can try to find out, so the dependency as well. So here we can check from this particular section. So here we have this particular SDK message. So even we can add from here. So this is the dependent component here. So let me try to use this feature, add required object. So let me check how many component it will add automatically. Let me note down that one and we can add. Set case priority. I have added this step here. Okay, here we are able to see this plugin step also added. Okay, so now what to do? If we have created one solution, so it's recommended publish all. So here we have first option, publish all. Why publish all is needed? Because there might be some unpublished component before exporting this one, even if we are going to export it. So how to export it? We have a option here, export this particular solution, and we can export from here as well. We can utilize this one. Before doing this activity, we have an option, either missing component, it will list down here. And before doing this activity, we have an option here, publish all. Either we can utilize this option or we can utilize the out of the box which are available here, this one. Before exporting, we have to publish it. It will take some time to publish it. Any comment? Try to utilize this time and make sure, if you don't have time to join it at this moment, try to use recorded session. That's why we selected this particular platform. Actually, in second shift in evening, I have limited time, so it's very difficult to connect at 9 o'clock sometimes. So mostly we will try to utilize this morning time. Hope you understand that part. I'm also try to record some session, and you can utilize those recorded session as well once you have time. Okay, publish is completed here. Now what to do? What happened now? All the unpublished component, suppose if someone is someone changed something and we have added those component here, so all the components are in published state, so that there is no issue while importing into another place. So dependency check, also verify no required components are missing from the container. Okay, so I will show you here how to perform this one. And there is one more even check here, solution check. It will show what types of issues we are having in this particular solution. And here, after selecting this one, we can utilize this solution dependency also. We can check if is there any dependency related to this particular solution. Why? Because why we have to check this dependency. Suppose if we have prepared this particular solution and we are going to now, we are deploying this one in our internal or maybe in our QA environment. But suppose if we are working in such a manner, we are exporting some patches and we are publishing across different environment, and we are working as a product development team. So maybe this particular patch we have to release for all the customer across all the globe. So they may face some dependency while importing those solutions. So make sure you have to check that dependency and you have to provide the proper solution to reduce the time. Like you have to create another patch, and then you have to either share a separate release component, or you have to go with another plan. So it's better, before exporting this one, we have to do all those set of action. So dependency here, set preferred solution. So what will happen here? We can even manage this particular solution as preferred solution, so that maybe I have to reuse this particular solution for another work as well. See solution history also. Clone and patch here. We already discussed this particular feature, clone a patch, clone a solution. So what will happen? Suppose if I'm going to create a clone a patch or clone a solution. I hope you all did this particular activity. I will explain you from here as well. But for performing the same activity, actually, I need a additional environment so that we can check what is the benefit here. If we are, maybe we can perform the same activity maybe tomorrow. I will create a separate solution environment, and we can perform this activity. How to create a clone a patch? So when we are creating a patch, what is the difference here? When we are creating a clone solution, what is the difference here? But today we will discuss about this particular import export utility. So here, suppose if I'm going to run this particular solution checker, so let's see what will happen. It is running in the backend. Solution check, it is running here. It will prepare, or it will display a report here, what types of solution uh, it is having, if it is having any issue, if we can improve and we can resolve those issues. We can check from here itself. If we have utilized best practice here, or is there any security related concern, it will display all those reports here. Any question, any doubt, maybe you can type here, but make sure I need your active participation here. It will take some time, but here even there is one option here, deploy. So this option we have, if we have set up some pipeline, CI/CD pipeline, that is a automation process, we can utilize this particular option and we can move. And here we can see there are some translation as well. So meanwhile, till the time it is running, what is the benefit here for this particular option? What to do with this option? Suppose if we are working here, one of the customer, which we have to display their UI in different language. Maybe in different language means, if we are working for one of the customer, they understand and they are asking to implement language as, if we are working for Middle East, they may ask as Urdu. If we are working for different country like China, they may ask for Chinese language. For all those display levels, suppose if they are opening any accounts here in the left hand side, so they can see all those navigation in Urdu, Chinese, maybe Japanese, French, all other different language. So even we can import all those language component inside our CRM. So we can choose all those one, but how to even convert that one? So suppose there is a level, so we are able to see task here. So we have a template. So what is the conversion of this task? What is the conversion of that particular calendar? So if we are importing those particular language pair, So we have a option like we can select that different language, and we can see the different navigation here. We have that capability, but how to perform that action? So here we can export those translations. So suppose meanwhile if it is running, we can export this translation. Let's see, I will show you. It will export all the language component related to this particular solution into Excel format, and we can give that language, that file, to the customer. They can help us to convert that particular sheet. So I will show you here. I think this is the different option. I will prepare a separate session for that one. Okay. So here download result. First we will discuss about this result meanwhile. So this is the history. This is the solution checker result. So let's see. Here we can see all those information, whatever we have here in this particular solution here. Let me expand it. Okay. So solution XML for solution phase one release contains an unmanaged dependency for active solution of type. So we may have different types of here information in for this specific one. So maybe we can take a action against all those each line, and we can prepare it, and we can fix this particular issue, and we can even export it again. We can rerun that solution checker. So in this manner, so it is generating a report here in separate sheet. So this is the out of the box feature that we are utilizing with the help of. So here we can see there is a missing dependency layer here. So this is configuration related changes. We can here, deep and dive all those items, and we can resolve all those components. But like this is one, you know, folder that we are able to see. Suppose if we have multiple language here installed, so we can see multiple maybe folder based on different language, whatever we have installed here. For language pack, I will give you one dedicated session for that one, that where we can understand more about the language pack. Okay, so let's complete this one quickly. So here you are able to see publish all, be done, publish all, dependency check we already done, versioning control, increment the version number to track deployment history. We already covered this versioning control, so we are good here. So export artifacts here, manage export, unmanage export, solution G. So here we have the standard for test and production log for edit and support cleanup uninstall logic. unmanaged export. Okay, so let me tell you what it means. So suppose if we are going to export it after fixing our issues, so here we have option publish, we already done. Next, checking for missing component, we can skip this particular one, we already did this one. Checking solution dependency, please wait a moment, skip this particular step. So now here we are able to see manage and unmanaged component option. So based on our recommendation here we are saying manage or unmanaged export. So either we have to select manage. If we are going to export as a manage, so it means what types of environment we have. So based on that one we have to take a decision, either we can go for managed component or we can go for unmanaged component. Suppose we are planning to move this solution into our UAT or production environment, and we have to test everything with this managed component. So we have to select this one, export it, and this is the solution file that we are able to see. It will take few seconds, and maybe after that we can export it. I can show you. So here either we have to go for manage or either we have to go for unmanaged export. Unmanaged for use primarily for checking into source control or moving between deployment sandbox. So suppose if we have to move that particular solution into another development environment, so we have to choose unmanaged, otherwise we have to choose managed export. Solution zip. So what types of component that solution zip may contain? It may contain customization.xml, it may contain sitemap.xml and web resources. Let's wait for some time. It will show once it will prepare one XML. So what will happen now? So in backend there is a process going on. It will generate all those components into a specific set of XML format file, so that we can display that one. So let's wait. So here we are able to see download. Let me open here. So suppose this is the file that we have. I can open this particular file here. Here you are able to see plugin assembly, because we have added plugin assembly component. Workflow also we have added. Here I have mentioned solution zip. Under that solution zip, maybe we have customization.xml. Customization.xml, what types of information it is having. It may have all those information, what types of information we have added into this one. So this XML format Microsoft only accept. So there is one more file, maybe you can more deep dive into that one and you can understand what types of, even if we need to change directly here. So if we have more detail, so directly we can customize all those XML file. But make sure if you are importing and exporting, you have proper backup. Otherwise you can you may break the existing UI. So it's very difficult to recover if you don't have proper backup. So here we have that level of folder structure in this particular one, like what types of component we have added into this particular solution. So all those information Microsoft generated here. This is just JSON file. This is plugin assembly file. It may have different hierarchy. It is having proper DLL file. So these types of information we are able to see in the solution file. So let's go from here. Solution zip. I hope you understand. Manage, unmanage, and solution zip. Importing phase environment variable, if we have properly added environment variable, connection reference. So environment variable, what it what is the use of those environment variable? Connection reference. So just on higher side I will show you. I can tell you related to the environment variable. Suppose if we have something which may be different across different environment. So I will give you one example. Suppose I have a client ID and client secret. Maybe you can easily understand user ID and password for lower environment. We are utilizing a different application user for lower environment, and maybe we have different application user or client ID and client secret, which we have to utilize for authentication part. So we may reutilize, we may reuse, we may change those information, or we may store all those information inside environment variable. So suppose if URLs, IDs, we have to change across different environment applications. So we have to use those environment variable. Connections, similarly, connection reference. So there might be some authentication part. So in dev environment, we have different connection reference. Maybe in UAT or QA, or maybe in production environment, we have different authentication purpose. So those connection reference we have to add here, and we can change, and we can provide the proper authentication so that it will not break. So best practice is to use connection reference that should be authenticated with the help of application user. I will tell you what types of authentication we may have. It may be user authentication, it may be a application user authentication. So maybe the difference, what types of difference we have in normal user and application user, we'll discuss. It will otherwise it will take some more time. Deployment KPIs. So here 99% import success rate target for automated pipeline using build tool, or average import time we may have, optimized time for a medium size enterprise solution. So what happens? Suppose if you have a very big release, you have plenty of changes into one file only, so it may take more time. Suppose your team is continuously developing in dev environment, maybe for 3 months, 6 months, or maybe 1 year development in component your team developed. So that solution may contain lot of component which we have to add into one solution, and we are releasing that one. So that file may be, or that solution may be, have more dependency. So it's recommended to move your component based on the phase wise. It is not everything we can go in a one time only. So it's very difficult even to identify the dependency. So end-to-end workflow here: exporting, validating, approval, sign off from UAT, and deploy into the live environment. So this is the standard process we have here. What to do? Exported, validation, like we have to import into QA environment, and then maybe our QA team, we already discussed this particular part. Once they provide the sign off, maybe they may found some testing feedback, and we have to fix it. Again we have to work in dev environment. Again we are recreating our solution, or we are adding some additional component into the solution. Then we are exporting again, and then we are importing into QA environment. Then QA team need to validate it. But make sure to reduce this particular rework, we have to do proper testing at uh, you know at unit level testing only, so that we can save our time. Validation is completed if we can go for UAT, we can get proper UAT approval if they maybe they means stakeholder or business analyst who raised the requirement, who provided the requirement. If they are saying, hey, this is the change, this is the after getting proper UI and that particular flow, they may ask some additional change. So that might be change request, or they may say, hey, this is the different behavior, we are not expecting this one. So everything if we have fixed, maybe they can provide the sign off to move into production. After getting the production sign off, we can perform the same thing, we can import into the production, and we can do sanity testing into the production as well, and we can close the requirement. That is the complete deployment or that workflow, end-to-end workflow, which we are following into different process. Cleanup phase. This is very important here. Maintain, suppose what happened, deployment maintenance. Post-deployment cleanup is very important at deployment itself. It's ensure system performance and layer integrity. So suppose what happened, suppose if we have deployed something, we have identified like there are some unmanaged layer that we discussed yesterday. So we have to delete all the unmanaged layer from the production environment. Solution rollup. Suppose if we have multiple rollups, so it always merge different patches into one from the base environment after a successful cycle. So because maybe we can see multiple patches are added, and we can see all those information in our production environment. So solution rollup also we can mark. So versioning alignment also, sync deployment sandbox version with the production release. So if we are maintaining proper versioning alignment, so we can do this maintenance part. I hope this is the process that we are following. Maybe we can do burn down of this uh, patch and clone tomorrow, in tomorrow session. We can create a separate environment, and then I can show you. So this is the complete process we have to follow. Any anything that you need to understand or you need to discuss, whatever we cover so far, this is a straightforward process that we have to follow. Otherwise, you know we are good. I will try to provide you one link where you can download all those documents, and you can utilize and you can refer all those the documents, and you can revise your component. But make sure, if you have anything, you need to note down your questions and you have to comment. Even if it's very helpful for me as well, I need your support, I need your feedback, like what types of improvement you want, so that I can include into those sessions. Maybe I may do something which you are expecting, so it's a coordinated coordination, so that we can complete and we can improve our quality as well. Make sure add your questions, add your query into the respective session, so that I can note down and I can give one question answers maybe sessions. Maybe we can plan for one session where we can you guys can ask your question and I can give your answer. All good? If no questions, maybe if you are asking something, some additional, maybe I may, think like you, at least you are getting something, but make sure you have to proactive. Okay, let's complete this session today. We will discuss tomorrow. Maybe mostly for this particular session, we covered all those components, but tomorrow I will cover that cloning and patching and this solution management and versioning control. What is the use of managed and unmanaged solution if we are importing, and if we are deleting, what will happen? So that level of R&D we will do. Okay, let's close this session. Thank you everyone for your time. Bye.